Now, one thing to do when having all your units on the board is to keep them close together, so that way they can protect each other, and so that way they can have a larger area of influence. Here's an example. Here we have 3 units, a yellow, a red, and blue. Where the colors overlap, the purple, the orange, and the green, that's where 2 of the 3, whatever they would be, mechs or tanks or infantry, could hit. And where the white is, all 3 of those units could hit a target inside the white. If these tanks work tighter together, then they could protect each other. See how the rings don't cover the dots where the units would be? If the rings were closer together, then the tanks could easily protect each other better. So range is very important to determining your safety and how who's gonna get into a firefight. Really, you can't really do too much about range. Eventually, you're gonna have to enter some sort of area of influence of your enemy in order to make an attack. But it's something to consider. You have to play around with ranges and try to get as far away as possible as you can, without entering their area of influence, and making them assault, giving you the +1 defense modifier if you can. So that's on ranges. Here's some tips. So the first tip would be always try to be as far away as possible from your enemy, especially if you have a larger range than them. That way, if they have to hit you, they have to assault, which would give you the +1 defense modifier. Also, as a tip, target as many enemies as possible. If you have 3 lightning bolt symbols, that means you can target 3 enemies. Target as many as possible, and if you can target 3 enemies, then target all 3. Why is that? Is that you make 1 roll against all of them. And if your roll fails against 1 unit, it may be a little pass against another. So you have better chance of hitting something. Now, you can't do damage to all of them equally. If your damage is 5, you won't do 5 damage equally to all of them. What you do is split it up. But you can always split it up, so that way you can do 0 damage. You can choose to do 0 damage to targets, and then choose to do a full damage to something. So even if you don't want to split it up, still target as much as you can. And also, remember, tanks and infantry cannot do assault combat. So whatever their ranges are and whatever their arcs are, that's all they have. They can't, that's all their area of influence is. Okay? So that's it on range combat, really. Next I'm going to go into close combat, which is a bit different. But yeah. So if you have any more questions on this, you can always just private message me. This kind of went on a bit longer than I hoped. Have a good day. Bye-bye.